basically, we have an AVoverIP product line called NUCLEUS, okay? And we have a variety of different kinds of hardware. So we have, let me click around here. We have like single input transmitter, single input transmitter, single output receiver. We just came out with wall plate encoders and decoders as well. So these have like RS-232 control, and this will encode right off the wall plate into the network switch. So like a lot of people, they kind of struggle with that right now. They'll have HD base T wall plate into an encoder, and so we're releasing this in April. So yeah, 1 gig. We can also do 2.5 gig as well. Some of our devices are larger like this, and so they have like 2 inputs and 2 outputs. And so we can do 2 inputs and 2 outputs at the same time off of one single network connection. This is an SFP cage, so we can pull that out and put a 1 gig SFP in there, or 2.5 gig even. And so 2.5 gig lets us do 2 up, 2 down off of one box. One of the main features of our product is that some of our devices, like this one, can do an input and output at the same time. So instead of needing an encoder and a decoder, you put one box, one network connection, and
transceiver.
yes. So that these models will support SDI if you want to do SDI. The back side of it, kind of hard to see, but there's USB as well. So we extend USB camera. We actually use the same compression codec. It's from Intopix, JPEG XS. It's the same codec actually. If I'm not wrong, is what Crestron uses as well.
Is it like 480 megabit USB, so you can have a USB camera?
Yeah, yes, we can. Yeah, 480 meg. Yep. Yeah, so USB camera. That's kind of the main part about the products. We also have, so every system has a server, and so that server lives on the network, and it knows all of the devices in the system. So if you had here's like all of the different model types. We give them all their names, right? Based on if I want to add a device, I click here, type in the serial number of the unit. If I want to give it a name, transmitter 12, and then select the device type. This one supports PoE, so our devices support PoE+. And then once the profile is saved, it goes into this list, and now you can plug it into the network, and it'll find it, and you can start routing immediately. We build, as you add devices into the system, we have like a cross point that builds out. So if I add that device, it goes into this list, and I can actually start routing here if I want. Incompatible I/O won't let you route, but you can make routes video to video, obviously audio to audio, USB for KVM. So as you kind of build the system out, you build out this internal cross point. So before your programming is done for your control, you can start testing your system.
How do you handle Dante?
So right now we have a centralized product that we use for Dante. We're adding the Dante chips at the encoders and decoders so we can go right off of the box. But right now, see if I can find it on this list. This device here, right? On the back of it, it has a bunch of Phoenix connectors. Right, so it has a bunch of audio inputs and outputs off of it, but any audio coming off of embedded HDMI or discrete audio routes to this device, and that's on the network. And so it's basically a Dante bridge. All of your audio comes from all of your encoders, goes to this, bridges it to your Dante network. You do your DSP, your processing. Audio comes back in on this same device, and then you route it anywhere in the system. So we do a centralized kind of approach, but we are adding the Dante at the encoders and decoders, so it'll go right off the device.
Are people using this system to centralize full buildings, or is it
Yes.
mainly using rooms? Yeah, so it's like
We can do either or, right? So the servers that we have with our system, they come in a variety of sizes. So you can pay like $1,500 and put one in just like one classroom. If you want, you can have a larger one that's like about $15,000, and it'll support an entire building, right? Are you guys typically doing centralized?
We're a little bit away from full building, so it's
Right.
more cell. So that's
Gotcha.
why we use sub-rooms between the rooms.
Yeah. I find a lot of people are doing that too, in Canada and the U.S. as well. So for us, like our, we have smaller kind of NUC style PCs, and that would have the whole software running on it, and then we have the larger ones that are top of rack. So for a small classroom of maybe 10 devices, we'll use this small one, and then if you go up to 100 devices, we use the larger one, and then you can go beyond 100 if you want. And then these can run, you can have two of them running at the same time, so if you need some redundancy. But yeah, essentially that's kind of the gist of it. So, USB routing, 1 gig, 2.5 gig. We can even do 10 gigs. So if you want to do uncompressed video, you can. We work with like Netgear, Cisco, pretty much any switch that supports IGMP. We have like a whole document.
We installed it on